What's going on, everybody? Cigar Show Tim here, and I have got the 28-liter King Chii thermoelectric humidor, and I'm going to be seasoning this in a way that you've probably never seen done before. Okay, so let's take a look at this 28-liter King Chii thermoelectric humidor that was sent out for my review, my take on it. But let's open the door, look inside, and see what it comes with. So if you look here as I open the door, you can see that the door does swing all the way open 180 degrees. You can see that you have got a tray down here at the bottom that does have a hygrometer in there. It says it's 36% humidity in there, and since there's no humidity packages or anything in there, that's probably accurate. And then you have 1, 2, 3 different shelves to place your cigars, boxes of cigars, whatever it may be on. This little tray right here, though, this little guy, this is what is going to help season your humidor. So I'm going to be using something that, well, I don't think anybody else has used to season a humidor. Now, if you've been around any of the Mr. Beast videos or Unspeakable or all those other different larger-than-life YouTube personalities, we'll call them, then you've heard of a product called Orbeez. These little gel beads that, when they get soaked in water, grow to multiple times their size. Well, I have got some that are the mini ones for actually a little airsoft gun that my boys and I all have. We each have our own, and I'm going to be using those little Orbeez, the mini Orbeez, to season this humidor. So let's take a look and see what is involved in that. Okay, so as we take a look here, you can see that I've got a bag that has a whole bunch of little beads in it. Those are the little Orbeez, the little, I don't even know what they're made of. Those little beads. I'm going to take and put some of them here into this tray, and it's not going to take much. So we're going to do about that many. So let's look here. You can see we've got, I'll tip it so you can see it. We've got however many that is in there. What we're going to do now is we will take our distilled water, and we are going to then fill it up with the distilled water and see how long it takes for these to grow, and also see how humid it makes the inside of the humidor. Alright, so I've got my distilled water. Remember, use distilled water only inside humidors. No tap water, no mineral water, nothing. So I'm going to take some and pour it in here. And I'm not going to pour a whole bunch in there because I don't think it's going to need a whole lot. So we're going to go to about there. Let me show you here what I've got. I've got it filled up to about there. So not a whole lot, maybe 1/4 of an inch worth of water sitting in the bottom there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let that sit up there, let the Orbeez start to grow, absorb the water, see how large they get. But let's talk about this humidor first. So this humidor is a 28-liter, so roughly a 200 count thermoelectric humidor. It is very similar to some of the other ones that you have seen out on the market. It has 3 functional buttons here and 1 readout. So the 3 functional buttons that are touchscreen, you've got the light there. You can see right up there as it turns on the light. Doesn't do much if you got anything on the top shelf, but there is a light in there nonetheless. You can see right there, top shelf. So it's got the light, and then you've got the temperature down and temperature up. So if I go down, we'll go to 65. It'll flash for a couple seconds, and then it'll lock it in. So right now it says that it's at 72 degrees. That's what it's at in there right now. So it's going to cool this unit down to the temperature that I just set it at. And it will go pretty far down. I believe it goes all the way down to 55 if I'm not mistaken. No. 54 degrees Fahrenheit is what the lowest temperature setting on this shows you can go to. So I'm going to take it up to where all of my other thermoelectric humidors are at, and I'm going to put it at 67 degrees. So it's there, I put it at 67, it's going to blink a few times, it'll lock it in. Now it says it's already down to 70 degrees, so it's cooling off quickly inside there. So in just a minute, we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how these have been growing, what they look like, how large they are, and then I'm going to see what the humidity without anything else in this humidor is sitting at I'm going to use the one that is included with the unit that's in the bottom tray, but I'm also going to include one of the round ones that I use in every single one of my humidors. I'll put the link up above. You're going to definitely, or link up that way. You're going to definitely want to check that one out. It's what I use in all 7 of my humidors that I have here in my studio. So let's go to that now and see how it's doing. Okay, so the Orbeez have been in here for about 40 minutes now. Let's take a look at them, but I want to point out a couple things first. If you look here at the digital temperature, the readout says 67 degrees. It got there within a couple minutes and has stayed there ever since. I did put 2 of the digital hygrometers that I use in every single one of my humidors in here. I put one at the top next to the tray that has the beads in it, and then one at the bottom next to the digital hygrometer that came with the unit. So let's open this up. Let's see what the temperature reading is on both of those, and let's see what the humidity point in here is showing based on all 3 of the readouts. Okay, so it's been about 40 minutes since I put the Orbeez, or the mini gel beads, in the tray and added the distilled water. Let's take a look now and see how they're doing. But first, let me point out, I set this to 67 degrees. Like I told you, I set all of my thermoelectric humidors to. This one is reading out right at 67 degrees. And let's take a look. I put 2 digital hygrometers and the thermometer hygrometer combos in here. So let's take a look and see at what the temperature readout is on both of those and the relative humidity readout on the one that came with the unit. So as we open it up here, let me turn the light on so you can see what it's like inside. So there's the light. We see this first one here is showing 68.2 degrees and 44% relative humidity. It's only off by a degree from what it's reading on the front of the screen. And this one here is showing 68.5 with 44% relative humidity. So both of those are reading exactly the same relative humidity. One's at the top, one's at the bottom. And the one that came with it is reading at 39% relative humidity. There's some stickiness here that got left by the residue on the tape that was holding the hygrometer in. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So as you can see, I've got a hygrometer at the top, a hygrometer at the bottom. And now let's look at what we're here to see. These gel beads, as you can see, they have absorbed all of the water. You can see right here, they're just little beads. That's all they are. And they hold on to the water. So I'm going to let these sit in here for about 2 or 3 days. It recommends about a 3-day process for sticking or going through the seasoning process for this specific unit. So I'm going to leave these in for a few days and see how it does. Another unit that is similar to this one, overnight it spiked up to 80% relative humidity, but that was just distilled water. It didn't have the beads. So let's see if we get a little bit more consistent and gradual increase, and then we're going to load this unit up with cigars. We'll see how many it holds. We'll see how it's doing with all that. And yeah, I've got some special cigars on their way that are going to be loading up this unit, and we'll just check it out then. Okay, so it's been about a week now since I began the humidification process, or the seasoning process, of this King Chii 26-liter unit. And I said 28-liter a couple different times. That's my mistake. It's a 26-liter unit, 200 count. And about a week ago is when I put the Orbeez in, did all that, and began to take measurements. Within about 3 days, 2 to 3 days, the humidity inside the humidor was sitting at about 81% relative humidity, depending on which hygrometer you were looking at. And so I left the Orbeez in there, but what I did is I actually loaded this humidor up with cigars, thanks to my friends over at Luciano Cigars. They sent me some boxes, different sizes, some different things to see, different formats, how different cigar formats and sizes and boxes fit in here, so you can have a good idea should you choose to pick one up for yourself. So let's take a look inside now. Okay, so if you look here, you can see the Luciano Cigars sticker there. Thank you to everybody over at Luciano Cigars. And inside here, I have the light on already for you, but let's take readings before it changes too much. So the top hygrometer is reading at 67% relative humidity and 68.8 degrees Fahrenheit. And the one that's down here is reading at 68.7 degrees, 68.8, and 68% relative humidity. So let me show you how cigars fit in here, the different sizes, all those different things, so that you can get an idea should you want to pick one up for yourself. So let me show you right here first what we've got. I'm going to take out this drawer and let me show you the reading on the unit itself. Is reading at 70% relative humidity. When you think about where it is compared to the other 2 hygrometers that I put in there, it actually does a pretty good job and is pretty close to what the numbers are on those other 2 units. So if we look here at the first box, I've got a box of Luciano the Dreamer here. These are the Bellicosos, and there are 15 cigars in each box. So I've got one here, and then if we pull out this shelf right here, I do have a box of the Fiat Lux. And this here is the Insight Vitola, and there are 20 of those. You can see I'm sitting right inside there. Got those. So there's 20 here, 15 there, and then what I did is down here in the tray is there are Mas Igneous cigars, and this here is loaded up. They are 6x60 because I wanted to give you an idea as to what size and how many they would hold. So in here we have got, I believe, let's count real quick, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So there are 20 of those in there, just so you have an idea as to how many are in there. And let's keep going through here. Slide that in. And here's the tray that had the Orbeez in it. As you can see, just a bunch of little blue BBs is all you see in there right now. And all the water is gone from it. So let me set that aside here, actually. And let me pull out this tray here. And on this tray, we have another box of the Luciano, the Dreamers and Bellicoso. This is 15, so let me just show you precise ideas, just so you can get an idea as to box sizes here. So I've got a box there. This box does not fit widthwise when you get towards the back of the unit. It is skinnier. Actually, that one does. I apologize. It's on one of the different shelves that it doesn't. But as you go towards the back of the unit, it does get a little more skinny on the inside. So I rotated it that way and did that, and I had the humidification tray right there. And on the top here, we have got 2 boxes of the Maria Lucia. Those right there. You can see there. And these are the 5 1/4 by 54 box press. You can see those right here. So there's that, and I've got this box right here. And so you can see when you open that up, you have 12 cigars in that box. Gives you an idea as to how many cigars fit. So these fit in widthwise and slide in, and obviously they fit in going a little bit deeper here, going that direction. It takes up a little more space, but you can put it right there onto the shelf, leave it there, and slide it in. But if you want to get 2 boxes, 2 smaller square boxes, then you can put them side by side. And yes, it does hang over just a little bit here. But the nice thing about this humidor is the door on it has a little bit of a cavity right here. If you look to the side, there's a little bit of a cavity. It's probably about a 3/4 of an inch indent. And you can close the door and the boxes don't hit anything. So it will fit them in. Let's load these back up. So there's about 100 cigars. It's just shy of 100 cigars sitting inside this humidor. Put these back here on top of the Mas Igneous right there. And we'll slide that in. And we can't forget our hygrometers. Let's put that one down in there. And this one here on the top shelf. So, as you can see right now, there's no additional humidification in here whatsoever. It is just the cigars, and you saw that it is holding at 68% relative humidity and about 68 degrees, and it was set to 67 degrees. So it's really close to what the settings on the unit are, as well as what the hygrometer, the digital hygrometer that came with the unit in terms of reading, give or take a couple percentage points and a degree to 2 degrees. Overall, some pros of this. I love the size. I love that you can put full boxes into it. I love that it has a lot of space to hold cigars. The multiple different shelves that are in here, I really like. There's the stop at the back, which also you can use to hold the tray for your humidification system. But I also like that it's got the shelf that's at the bottom, or the tray that's at the bottom, to load loose cigars in as well. I don't like the light on this. I'm not a huge fan of it because, well, as you've seen, it doesn't really light much up inside it. Once you have something on the top shelf, it pretty much negates everything else that you want to look at inside the unit. So hopefully with future units, maybe they'll put some lights down the side, on the inside, something like that, or around each shelf. Something that helps it light up inside so you can clearly see each shelf and what you have on it. But I would encourage you, if you're looking with the cigar collection that you have, and maybe you're getting to be around the 150 count mark with numbers of cigars. As you saw, this is just shy of 100 cigars in here. I think it's like 96 cigars, something to that effect. If you're around that level in your cigar collection, or you have boxes and you want to be able to store an entire box in a humidor without having to make them all loose individual cigars, then this is a great option for you. I love how the seal on it has done well with holding in the humidity and the moisture and all of that. It is a very good, solid unit. But if you're interested in getting this, I highly encourage that you would click on the link down in the description below, or if you are on the Amazon page right now and watching this video review, because I do want to put it up there so that anybody that's considering purchasing this unit has a full idea as to what it's like. I highly recommend that you purchase and check out this unit if it's something that sounds like it is what you are looking for to continue your cigar journey. The pros: seal does great, holds the humidity. I like the number of shelves and trays that are in here. I like all of that. The hygrometer surprisingly does measure relatively accurately within a couple percentage points for relative humidity. That is a big plus, because other units that I have tested and tried are completely off. So it was good to know that this is pretty consistent. Cons, again, the light, and really that's about it. It is whisper quiet. It doesn't take up much room. It's not noisy, so it is a great unit. So if you're in the market for a cigar humidor that holds about 200 cigars, I've got 100 in here now, but obviously if you make them all individual loose cigars, you can get a lot more in here. But if you're looking for something like this, then make sure you check it out, make sure you purchase it, and when you do, let me know. Put in the comments here in the video, let me know that you got this, or if you have another size that King Chii puts out, let me know that as well. I'd love to get your feedback on it. When I've reviewed humidors in the past, people say, Tim, you know, how do you know that the hygrometers are accurate, or how do you know this, or what are the dimensions inside, or all those different things. I love your questions, and I'd be happy to answer them if I'm able to. If not, I'm just going to direct you straight to the customer service, because they are very quick to respond. So that's going to do it for my review and evaluation on the King Chii 26-liter cigar thermoelectric humidor. Go and get it if you're interested in it, guys and gals. This is perfect for your cigar journey and for maintaining your cigars. But that's going to do it for this review. Enjoy your cigar journey, everybody. I'm Cigar Show Tim. As always, I'll see you.